Alright guys, I know the markets are down dramatically today, and this is probably not what you want to hear, especially if you do have puts, but it's important not to be one-sided here. There is actually something that is very bullish that is happening right now, and there's a lot we need to get into in a very short amount of time, so I'm not going to waste your time. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. Come join us on the live stream later on tonight so we can talk about AMC earnings, talk about everything you guys need to know heading throughout the next couple of days. Nonetheless, let's talk about what is going on that is very, very bullish today. And nobody's really talking about it. And we have this. Goldman Sachs is shrinking its SPAC business amid regulatory crackdown and market turmoil, which is very interesting, and I want to connect a couple dots as far as that is concerned for you guys. But if we just go to CNBC and you look at bonds, the bond yield is actually dropping today by a decent amount. It's not a huge drop, but it's about a negative 0.05% drop. So almost 0.1%, which this is much needed. This is showing that people are actually buying the bonds. They're accepting a 3.075% return, and that is very, very positive. Now, why is that? Well, the bonds have been going parabolic this year, and they really have needed to take a step back. And if you guys are unaware, basically when interest rates go up, when bonds go up and this yield continues to rise, it puts a lot of downside pressure on stocks. When the bond rates, like we can see, have been very low throughout 2020 and really a lot of 2021, there's not a lot of downside pressure put on stocks, and you could see a lot of stocks moving up, right? Best way to think about it is if you could only get a 0.5% yield like in 2020 off a bond, you're not going to put your money in bonds, and we're talking about billionaires here, big money. They wouldn't be buying bonds, right? 0.5% isn't even worth your while. You put a lot of money into equities. Now, when yields start to go up and you got either the Fed selling bonds or whales selling bonds or other countries selling U.S. treasuries, that makes the yield go up. And then it's all of a sudden a little bit more attractive to buy bonds. Long story short, bond yields go up, puts a lot of downside pressure on stocks. And we can see that right here. If you guys pull up the trading view, bonds and stocks pretty much correlate almost to a T. Sometimes there is a bit of lag and delay though. But what you can see, this orange graph, or chart I should say, is the S&P 500 pretty much going straight down and currently down about 16.17% to start off the year. The first day of trading for 2022 was January 3rd, and you have fallen 16.17% since then, right? So this right back here is TLT. TLT going straight down, stock market going straight down as well. Well, now you are actually getting your first green day on TLT in quite a while, and it should, in theory, help the markets to also be able to bounce. Now we're going to talk about what we are looking at for tomorrow, and then obviously CPI, we've covered that a lot, so I think tomorrow's Fed speakers is going to be more important. But even if you look at the TLT, it's the 20-year Treasury bond ETF, that thing is down 21.09% year to date. So people, bond investors have really been getting destroyed even more than the stock market, if you guys can believe that. But the fact that we are actually seeing a bounce back today in the price of TLT, meaning the bond rates are going down, is actually a very positive thing. Now, you might be saying, well, if TLT is so positive, then why is the stock market not going up? And I think it has to do a lot with Russia, the Victory Day stuff, what they said about going to war with NATO. I think that's having a big impact on the markets, but not everything is actually getting destroyed today. You guys can see the Dow Jones overall is doing much better than the NASDAQ. The Dow Jones only down 1.66%. The NASDAQ is down 3.5%. The Russell 2000 down 3.67%. S&P down 2.60%. 3%. So you're actually seeing some of your Dow Jones stocks that are actually green today. You are seeing kind of a rush to safety, and the stocks that control a majority of the markets, like we talk about all the time, your Apples, Amazons, Nvidias, Teslas, those stocks are on average down about 2 to 4% today. So there is money actually coming into the markets today as bond yields have been dropping, but you're not seeing that whole risk on sentiment, and I don't think you really will until we get to Wednesday, or depending on what these Fed speakers say for tomorrow. So what we're looking at heading into tomorrow is a lot of Fed speakers, guys. We do have this as well. NFIB, small business optimism. I don't think that's going to move the markets all too much. But then early in the morning before the markets actually open, you have FOMC member Williams that speaks. Member Bostic also speaks at 8:30 in the morning. And then you have EIA short-term energy outlook. That is expected to be a high volatility catalyst. And then you do have Fed Waller, Fed Mester, Fed Bostic again. And that's pretty much going to be all for the Fed speakers. So we have 4 Fed speakers that speak tomorrow and 1 Fed speaker that speaks twice. So you have 5 Fed speeches, let's call it that, for tomorrow, heading into obviously CPI. So that's going to be important. If the Fed kind of confirms that, they're not behind the curve as much, that potentially we are in the right place for tightening fiscal policy or monetary policy. Fiscal is what the government can do, right? The Fed is technically not a part of the government. So they're tightening monetary policy. We kind of want to see more confirmation and reassurance that they are doing the right thing. And hopefully they say that they don't see a recession. This could give us a little bit of a bullish precursor heading into CPI. Now, if CPI is good, then that's going to be the nail in the coffin. That could potentially give us the bounce. And if the rates continue to fall as well tomorrow, that is also going to be a very, very bullish thing. Like I said earlier, they can kind of be lagged behind. So it wouldn't surprise me even to put it to you guys like this. If bond rates close today down, like we see right now, about 0.05%, and then they also go down tomorrow, which should be another bullish thing. But even the markets go down tomorrow. And then it wouldn't surprise me to see Wednesday the stock market rally very hard off of CPI and this lagging delay between the bonds and the stock correlation. So that's kind of what I expect. I do think we are closer to a bounce now than we have been in obviously a while. We'll see if we can hold up 400. That's looking pretty bullish in my opinion. If we do get one of those end of the day rallies, that's going to be pretty damn cool. But if we sell off under 400 and close in the 300s on the S&P, could be looking for a little bit of trouble here tomorrow. And if CPI is not good, that's where the markets could really get destroyed. The sentiment right now is at its lowest levels we have seen in a very, very long time. Now let's take a look at AMC and the option activity. Quick look at the short interest as well. Considering we have earnings and after hours, I think it is very, very appropriate. Now we have 22 orders totaling $10.14 million, positive order value of 13%. So not a lot of bullish options coming through, not a lot of calls at all. It's a lot of short-term put activity, a lot of the May 13th expirations, the May 20th, there's a September, another May 13th, 20th, a June, couple Junes coming in here as well, couple June calls, which is definitely a good thing. Now, in my personal opinion, if you wanted to play AMC earnings, I think actually playing it both ways would not be a bad idea, a call and a put. I do think there's a lot more potential risk playing a put here because expectations are already so low for AMC, like we went over in the last video. You have seen 5 revenue downward revisions since last earnings and 0 upward revisions. So if AMC actually does come in beating all analyst expectations, the stock could actually make some pretty big moves. But we'll see in this market environment. Nothing seems to be getting rewarded here. But the biggest thing you could take out of this video is bond yields dropping is bullish. It can take a little bit of time for the stock market to actually reflect that. So you really want to watch the bond market here to see what happens there. That could kind of give us a leading indicator potentially to seeing a market bounce. It could be a couple days, could be a week, but this right here is very, very bullish. And then the Fed speakers tomorrow are either, going to drive rates back up in the bond market or potentially have rates come down as well could give the markets a bit of a boost, but CPI on Wednesday will be the main catalyst. And really, depending on what the bonds do right now, I think that's going to really tell us if we're looking at a bounce coming on Wednesday or if we are going to break under 400 on the S&P. Watch to see if we do close, under 400. Anything is possible here, or really if we can get back above 405. That's going to be a very, very solid sign. So that is going to be all for this video. Wanted to make this one kind of short, sweet, and straight to the point. Actually, hold on. Don't let me get too ahead of myself. The short interest of free float for ANC is sitting at 19.32%, 99.61 million shares that are sold short, cost to borrow max of 3.3%, utilization of 100%, cost to borrow 1.78, it says right here, days to cover at 2.69. So if we get some volume coming in, we get a bullish earnings report, it's going to be very, very interesting, we'll call it that, for AMC stock. So I didn't want to leave that out of this video. I did say we were going to go over it. So now hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, source comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. If you guys want to come trade with us live in real time, link down below in the pinned comment. If not, that is all fine. We are live every night, Sunday through Thursday, to go over futures, to go over, what's going on in the markets. Anything that happens today will be important considering AMC has earnings here in after hours. So come join us on there. That is all. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.